had some incredibly special players in that side, right? Let's talk about N'Golo Kante. When you first saw him, what was your initial reaction? Because he went on to be one of the greatest holders we've ever seen, right?
Well, he's not a holder; he's a box to box.
Yeah, but
he can do everything. There's nothing he can't do.
But no one could get past him. He'd always get the ball and then give it to Drinkwater or whoever's in front of him. But when the first time you saw him, did you think, "Wow, this kid's special"?
No, not in training. Not until I think he played left wing or right wing in a game. And one of our centre mids, I think it would happen at Stoke. I think it was Gökhan Inler. He was having a bit of a beast, and he got dragged off at half time, and he put N'Golo in centre mid. And in that second half, everyone was like, "Oh my God, who's this? Like, where's this lad been for the last?" In pre-season and everything. And
so when he came to the club, he wasn't bought as a midfielder?
No, he was bought as a midfielder, but for that other game, he put him on...
Oh, I see, right.
Yeah, he just pushed him out, thinking he's probably too small to be playing in a centre mid in the Premier League. He went into centre mid, and it was like...
He's found his home.
Who is this?
I said Danny in the back. I've never seen anyone...
Call me Danny?
Danny.
Oh, right, me.
But I'm saying, and you played with him, I've never seen anyone win the ball back so consistently and so well, ever, in world football. He is an absolute phenomenon.
No, he is. He's one off. If you ask me, he's one of the best players I've played with. He's up there for me.
Is he quiet?
He's quiet, yeah.
Unassuming.
Very shy.
What cars he drive?
Yeah, he's got a Mini, hasn't he? But you know what I love
that
about...
probably looks massive to him. They probably told him to go, "This is a Bentley, don't worry about that."
But you know what I love about him? Obviously, you would have seen him with more trophies with Chelsea and obviously France, and he doesn't even want to hold the trophy.
He doesn't
It's like he gets shy. Like he's scared to lift it up.
Was it the World Cup? Someone had to push him at the front and say, "Go on, you've won it. Go and hold the World Cup."
Why is he like that?
It's just who he is. And, I love him. I'm sure, obviously, Leicester fans love him. Chelsea fans love him.
So, I mean, he's one of the greatest ever, right, in that position?
Honestly.
He's better than Makaleli, who played a similar role, but slightly different.
The role named after him.
He's better than him. He's the best the best ball-winning midfielder I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why everyone says he's like having two players.
He is.
Yeah.
He used to cover... Riyad Mahrez and help me out because we used to leave Riyad up there. So,
would you say, this is a horrible question, and there might not be an answer, but for that season, would you say he was the most important cog in that wheel? I mean, maybe there wasn't one because Vardy was, you were, Drinkwater was, Huth was, that Schmeichel was. They all were. But if there was one player that was missing that would cause you problems, would it have been him?
I think if you look at the way we played, sitting deep, counter attack. Having him in front of us, I think Robert Huth said he'd give him a couple more years. Because he's sat in front and he's just sweeping everything up. So I think for us, obviously he can play anyway, as you said, but I think for us, sat in deep, teams trying to break us down, the way he wins the ball back, as we just mentioned, is
ridiculous.
I've never seen anything like it. And then we could counter attack with Riyad and obviously Vards.
Please tell me you've still got a WhatsApp group with all the winners from that season in it.
Not all. But we've still got quite a big...
Have you?
Group. Yeah.
Okay, what's it called?
In fact, what is it called? I'll get it up, actually.
Yeah?
So we've got Harry in there, Ben Chilwell still in there. Or even people that have left.
Yeah,
still all keep in contact. I actually don't think I can repeat what it's called.
It's not called Up the Winners, is it?
Go back to the beginning of that season then. N'Golo Kante signed £5.6 million. One of the biggest, bestest transfer bargains of all time.
We agreed that. We did a podcast on it, didn't we?
We did it on a podcast. What are the first impressions of N'Golo Kante? Because I've been at a football club where you sign these players and these names from clubs that you've never heard of before, and this player walks in through the door and you're thinking, oh God, he's only small. Surely he can't have much about him. What are your first impressions of him?
So I think, first of all, I think he was second choice to the player that they actually wanted. So the lad that we signed when he left, Nampalys Mendy, he was like, they wanted to sign him originally, but couldn't sign him, so got Kante instead.
Had to settle with N'Golo.
So, but when he came in, like his first session, like he raised a few eyebrows, and we was like, wow, like this guy's good. Yeah. But it took a while for him to actually get in the team. Like I think he made his debut by coming on for me. At left wing, so he played left wing for a couple of games, and then he eventually came on. I think so. We had Gökhan Inler at the time as well, and he I think he came on for him, and then that was it. Then, like once he was in that centre midfield, like there was nobody like that.
How nice is it having an N'Golo Kante? Because everybody needs an N'Golo Kante. Everybody strives and just would. It's a dream player, isn't it? Every team wants that player.
How good was he at the World Cup, by the way?
Incredible.
You want that guy who is so selfless, yeah, just workaholic. It's not. It's like he prides himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He prides himself on being that guy.
But I think as well, like it helps so much, and you'll know this as well. Like it helps so much when you're a nice person as well.
It does.
Like he was such a humble, like down to earth person. Like he was always smiling, always happy. Probably had other stuff going on, but like he'd just come in every day and he'd just smile and it'd just be like amazing.
Is it true that he had a Mini that season and he would just bowl in his little Mini all season long?
All season
He's not bothered by flash things. That's what I mean.
Not at all.
This is what I'm talking about. In a world of absolute excess and money and watches and cars, and he just bowls in his Mini all the time. Just wants to go and play football.
Yeah, even after he left, and obviously he went on to win the league the following year. So like I'd always like if somebody goes on and do well, I'd always send them a text, like congratulations on like winning the league, or then it was like congratulations on winning the Champions League, congratulations on winning the World Cup. Got boring after a bit, but he'd always message back as well. Like it's what I like. I just think it's so humbling, like such a nice person. He'd always take the time to message back. He's probably got millions of messages in his inbox. But
what a lovely man!
Brilliant. It was back onto Riyadh quickly. Him and N'Golo, they were really close. Like they were like best mates. I think they lived together for a period as well. But after training, we had a little like a small area in the gym where there was like a couple of little goals there. And they'd like make a little, like a really small pitch, and they'd just do one-on-ones against each other. So you've got N'Golo, who's like one of the best defensively like midfielders in the league. You got Riyadh, who's one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league, and they were just going up against each other. They'd do it for like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Full on sweat on?
But full on sweat on. But it was like dead even. Like sometimes Riyadh would produce a bit of magic to get past him. Sometimes N'Golo would just go, no chance. But then it started gathering in crowds a little bit. Like lads were staying behind after training just to watch it, like because it was that good.
Oh, that's class.
At the end of my career, N'Golo Kante.
Kante. You could have got Kante as well.
Yeah. Easy, because he played in a club in Paris.
Yes.
That's called Suresnes, where one of my best friends is director, and he told me, please, I have a player, he's unbelievable. Nobody wants him in France. He took him in his car and traveled with him from club to club. And finally, a club of Division 3 in France took N'Golo Kante.
Wow.
It is an unbelievable story, N'Golo Kante. You could make a film as well with him.
Wow, amazing. N'Golo Kante at Arsenal would have been amazing.
And he has something that you don't find often.
No.
He wins the ball without making any foul.
No.
And straight away he moves that ball forward.
And very underrated in the way he progresses the ball as well. Very underrated. Okay. Boss, the next question is...
Like this is taking nothing away from like the two centre-halves, because they were incredible for us. Like, they was absolutely incredible. But I think N'Golo just saved them so much work. Yeah. Like, he saved them so much work. He just swept up in front of them and I just think he was an extra player in there.
Made everybody's job easier.
Yeah, everyone. I said, I know I mentioned the centre halves there, but it'd make my job easier. Like, if I weren't in position, he'd cover for me. If Drinky weren't in position, he covered for Drinks. Like fullbacks, he'd cover for them, and he was just everywhere. I've never seen anything like it. Like how his energy.
Did he have to work on his fitness, or was he just a naturally really fit kid?
It's just natural. Like I spoke about it the other day. This is incredible.
And I'm sure he could tackle, but a lot of the time he didn't need to tackle. That might sound stupid,
no,
but he was that quick. And he'd cover the ground that quickly. He'd just kind of get his body in, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
See you later. He
never got like booked. There was no red card, so he was never suspended. Like, it weren't like he was a tackling midfield player that, like, I don't know, lived on the edge. Like, he weren't like that at all. Like, his positioning was always like proper.
I want to talk about N'Golo Kante, because considering a lot of criticism perhaps of players that go to play in Saudi Arabia, because you think not going to be as sharp, especially at the Euros, not compared to the players that are playing in European leagues. But wow, like rolling back the years is one way to call it, isn't it?
Yeah, he was brilliant. He's got that vast experience. And I think what he's really good at as well, obviously, we talk about breaking the play up, but it's when he does the other bits as well. He's sharp with his passing. He obviously covers the ground, we know that. His decision making is excellent. But he's neat and tidy with his passing, and he loves a little 1-2. He can pass it forward. He makes runs forward. He looked like a younger version of himself tonight. I know it's the first game of the tournament. Let's see how he gets on over the intensity of the games. But I never doubted him before the game. That experience, he's got it in abundance. He was excellent.
You've just said it, Roy. He's not a holding midfield player that just stays there. He's everywhere on the pitch. He runs forward, and then Rabiot just sits back from him and balances off. And I thought it was absolutely outstanding tonight. Really was. Fantastic performance. The best player on the pitch, I thought.
I don't know, they give that Saudi some stick. It seems like the players there are it's right up to speed. The fitness, this was unbelievable. Brilliant. This was, because they were in here, and you know what I mean. It's him. He's getting back, first challenge, and then.
But that role is all about football intelligence, and he's got it in abundance.
He played 45 games in the Saudi League. I spoke there about some people criticising it. What are the positives potentially of that?
He's going to retire very comfortably.
He's got a decent bank balance, no doubt.
Deep pockets are one thing, aren't they?
Challenge for him. Some players get a new lease of life and go into a new challenge for him.
He really struggled with injuries as well before that. So perhaps in a league that isn't as challenging, isn't as aggressive and physically demanding.
But when you come and you play to that level, it must be doing something. Because if you're playing in a league that the standard is not as good as. How's he getting to that
But he's surrounded by much better players. That's the key. Surround yourself by top players. So the other players around him tonight, when he was making forwards, there was players covering for him. Yeah. That's the key. Surround yourself by brilliant players.
33 years of age?
Yeah, he looked, there was a couple of years, a few years ago, he looked like he was finished. He looked like he, in sometimes the second lease alive, just obviously playing in a great team, brought back. Sometimes when you get to that sort of age of sort of like 30, 31, you think you're near the end of your career and you sort of get a little bit stale. All of a sudden, then you start to enjoy your career a little bit more when you think, I've only got
to move to the sun.
Yeah, the £86 million a year. You just enjoy yourself all of a sudden.
Is that all it takes?
Gary's happy with his 20 today.
It says a lot, really, doesn't it?